What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I want to make a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 feedback video to basically let you guys know all of the information that we submitted to Bandai and Dimps a couple weeks ago in regards to what needs to be done before the game comes out. Now, there's a big difference in what we want and what needs to be done. What we want is stuff like extra features. Let's say, for example, key clashes, because a lot of people in the community want key clashes. Something like key clashes, which is already not in the game, will not be added before October 25th. And the reason why is because something like that will take a long time to code and program and to develop to make sure it works the right way. So something like that, if considered, will be something that they will look at later. But as opposed to what needs to be done, we're talking about the small code changes where you can literally go into the code and change one line, and that's something that could be massively different for the game before it comes out. So for example, the #1 thing on my list was to increase the battle time. For the love of God, give us more than 3 minutes. Now, everybody knows that one of the biggest flaws in Xenoverse 1 was due to the fact that there was a time limit that was 3 minutes long. Now, in online matches, I swear I had more fights end because the time ends as opposed to me getting destroyed or me winning a fight. 3 minutes is not enough, especially if you do 2v2 and 3v3. There's just no way that you can get enough done. I mean, if you are drastically better than another player, if you fight, 3 minutes can be more enough to destroy somebody. But at the same time, if you get on the same skill level as somebody, 3 minutes will usually result in the time ending, and then whoever has the most health wins. And most of the time, someone will end up popping an energy pill, which can pretty much piss you off. So with that said, increasing the battle time was my #1 thing on my list. And the best part about this is it's literally one line of code. Like, I can go do it myself. Like, let me go into Dimps offices right now. I'll go change that code from like a 3 to a 5 or 7 or whatever. I'll go do it right now. Now, before I get to my next point, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will ask for infinite time in online, and the reason why that will not work is if you do infinite time, there could be some server issues with there, because then you'll have players who will literally just sit there online forever, and then that would just kill the server for everybody else. So you do need some sort of time limit online, but I think honestly, between my experience from playing Xenoverse 1 and the previous games, 5 to 7 minutes is more than enough. So at least give us that much time. But 3 minutes, we can all agree, is not enough time. So the #1 thing on my list was to increase the timer from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, if not more. Now, before I get to my next point, I do want to point out that as of right now, I don't know what's being implemented or what they're going to do based on this feedback. Like, all we can do as a Dragon Ball community or as a community period is send that feedback. And I do know at some point in the future, they're going to open up some kind of portal where anybody can send feedback. And from there, you can also ask for features and stuff like that. So to those who do want key clashes, and if you really, really want them, you'll be able to submit that feature and request at some point in the future. But remember, once Xenoverse comes out, we're getting what we have. And then from there on, we have to basically make sure that we send them more feedback or what we want in the future. Otherwise, you know, they're not going to know what we want. So it's important that once the game comes out, we keep telling them what we want. And the point of this video today is just to tell you guys what I submitted to them personally or what needs to be done before the game comes out. Because like I said, this is just minor changes that will have a huge impact in the game. And everybody knows that if the game comes out and the timer is still 3 minutes, well, we're going to be upset. Because again, 3 minutes is not enough time. We need more time. And I want to play the game, and 3 minutes is not enough to play the game, so that's the whole point of this video. The second critical thing on my list was custom player options when you create a lobby. And what I mean by that is when you create a lobby, you should have the power to choose what is and isn't allowed in the match. So for example, if I want to do only regular characters, I will tick that box, and then from there, it's like, okay, I can't play as my custom, but I can play as Goku, I can play as Krillin, and if I want to, I can play as Guldo for whatever reason. Another thing that I added for custom options would be maybe set a time, maybe choose the music, choose the stage, all that stuff. I mean, the fact that we had next to no options in our own lobbies in Xenoverse 1 was a problem. And there were a lot of players that only wanted to play as custom characters or players that only wanted to play as regular characters, and we didn't have that freedom. Because of that, the experience was somewhat ruined in Xenoverse 1. So we need, absolutely we need the option to choose our own options when we create our own lobby, because then it's like we can cater our own lobbies to ourselves and then not have to worry about the things that we don't want to run into. Like if you don't want to play against customs, or if you don't want to fight against certain moves, or if you want more time, or if you want certain music. Like, we need to have the freedom of choosing what we want, because that's how you increase our own experience in the online version of Xenoverse 2. And yes, with the player option, another thing that I requested is being able to choose whether or not you want to use items. Because for the love of God, items were like one of the worst things that happened to Xenoverse. Because there's nothing more annoying than fighting and beating someone down and then having them pop an energy pill and doing it over and over again. Like, there's so many times where I fall into the trap where I just fought some random person who kept using energy pills to heal themselves, and I refuse to use energy pills. However, no matter how much you refuse or how much good you can be, if someone pops that energy pill that last second, then that's it. They end up winning, and that was absolute BS. So yes, that's definitely a thing that needs to be in the game if they have player options, like being able to choose whether or not you want items or not. Like, just give us that freedom. Just give it that freedom, and I promise you, we will enjoy the game a lot more than we did with Xenoverse 1 and past Dragon Ball games. Now, for my final option, this one was kind of tough because I was trying to figure out, again, what can they do before the game comes out that won't require too much resource? Because again, the features, the big features that we all want, like key clash or stuff like, you know, different modes or whatever, will be coded sometime after the game comes out based on what we request. So I'm trying to think, like, what is this something that they can do right now before the game comes out? That way we have a better experience online. And for my third option is punish the rage quitters. Oh my gosh, punish the rage quitters. I mean, with any fighting game, you'll always have rage quitters, and they're awful. They've ruined the experience. I mean, everybody will agree with that. But how do you punish rage quitters in Xenoverse 1? You might ask. Well, in Xenoverse 1, there was no real punishment other than the fact that they would change their name to Red to let you guys know that they're quitters. But I actually stepped it up. What they should actually do in Xenoverse 2 is if someone rage quits, it lets the computer take over. I mean, what better way to do that than just let the computer take over? Like, for example, if I'm fighting you right now and you rage quit, instead of kicking me back to the main lobby and saying, oh, this person quit, it should just say, all right, this person's not computer. So if I do end up still beating you, well, then there goes your ranking points or whatever, and, you know, I get my points at the end of the day. I think that's probably one of the best ways to punish the rage quitters. Because, like, I mean, if you want to quit and let the computer handle the fight for you, I mean, that's up to you. And at the same time, if you end up getting disconnected because you have bad internet or something, well, at least then the computer could still possibly fight for you, but not really. But mostly this will address the rage quitters right now, because I mean, I'm sure you'll all face that one player that just kept quitting online and there was no real punishment for it. Now, again, I don't know what's going to be planned, but this is just basically based on the suggestions that I've read from you guys over the past couple months and based on my experience with the game. So as far as rage quitters, what better way to punish them than to let the computer take over? And if you still end up winning, you get your points and they lose theirs. And nobody gets kicked off to the lobby, because at the end of the day, we just want to play the game, and spending more time in the lobby would not be really playing the game. So just do that. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. It's like, Rhymestyle, what about all the other stuff? Like, my actual spreadsheet that I sent to Dimps directly had about 20-30 points of stuff that's like critical, but I'm not going to go over all the other stuff just because there's literally a lot of information to talk about. I just want to kind of adjust my top 3 right now so people kind of understand, because again, I've been talking about this for a long time now on Twitter, on my videos, but I realized that I never actually went into details of what we actually submitted, and I figured I'd make a video just to let you guys know. But again, if there's 3 options what you yourself would want before the game comes out, feel free to share it down below. And again, think about options that won't take a lot of time to build. I mean, I know a lot of you guys don't know how development works, and you probably assume that, oh, key clashing, for example, will take like a day to build. It takes a lot longer than that. So think about small, easy to build features that they can do now, and the big features for later, just wait until they open the portal so we can submit our feedback then. But for now, think about the minimal stuff. I mean, if you want to even say stuff like the same thing that I said about how you want punish rage quitters, increase time, and you know, add player options, feel free to do so, because this is your chance to kind of speak what are the 3 things that you yourself would want the most. And obviously we're going to get stuff like hit detection and stuff like that, but again, I can't really talk about stuff what's in the game because I don't really know. For all we know, everything I submitted is already in the game. So all I can really do right now is submit information based on what the community wants and based on what, you know, I've seen and experienced myself, and assume none of this is in the game. But for all we know, everything that's already on my spreadsheet, as well as the stuff that's been sent in by other YouTubers, is already in the game. So until the game comes out and I play the final build, I really don't know what the word is and what we can expect. But for now, it's just important that we keep talking, keep sending that feedback, so they know and understand what we as fans want. And once the game comes out, like I said, we'll work on sending the feedback in terms of what needs to be nerfed, what features we want, stuff like that. And if they end up listening, if there's enough voice to tell them what we want, then they'll probably deliver and give us the features over the course of the next year after the game comes out. Because they did say they're going to support the game for at least a year with DLC, paid DLC, and free DLC. So let's see if they actually will deliver on that. But for now, all we can do is send them that feedback, and you bet your ass that we will fight for what we want in Xenoverse 2. Now, one last thing before I end the video, it's a little bit of news, not really big news, but I'm sure you guys have been waiting on it. The digital pre-order for Xenoverse 2 is officially live on Steam, PSN, and Xbox Live. So finally, you can order digitally and secure your DLC as well as whatever else you're trying to get. So if you want to get that, just feel free to go to PSN, Xbox Live, and all that stuff. But I do want to point out that that is officially live. And one last thing, Gamescom is going on, I believe, this week. If not, it's already going on the second I'm making this video. So expect a big Dragon Ball Xenoverse update at some point in the next day or so, if not hours. So of course, stay tuned to this channel, subscribe if you're new here. I will keep you guys in the loop with all the information for what's to come with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Anyways, with that said, hope you enjoyed this quick video to let you guys know. Again, feel free to share in the comment section below what top 3 things that you would want the most. And remember, think small but big features. Easy to code, but drastic difference, because obviously 3 minutes versus 5 minutes is a big difference. Adding player options is a big difference, and punching rage quitters is a big difference. But all 3 of these are pretty easy to code, and you can do it before October 25th. So think about the easy to code stuff with massive impact. Or if you want to say the exact same thing I said as well, feel free to share down below as well. But for now, I just kind of want to make this video to share what it is that we submitted prior to the game coming out on October 25th. And I have no idea whether or not they'll even tell me if this is in the game. For all I know, I'll find out the first day I play the game in October. So for now, like I said, all we can do is talk, and we'll keep doing so. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of today. My name is Rhymestyle, and I will see all you awesome super sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.